This was just last year. Public sector workers across the country walked out demanding better pay and improved working conditions. The strikes dragged on for months, and now there are growing fears they could return. Today, during a visit to a healthcare centre in Lancashire, the Prime Minister faced fresh questions, not just about the services on offer, but whether the staff delivering them will get a pay rise.
We accepted the pay recommendation last year. We were able to settle those disputes. Nobody wanted our nurses and doctors in industrial disputes. The pay review bodies are now going through the process, making their recommendations, and we'll consider them as we always do. That's part of the annual cycle.
The government has so far budgeted for a 2.8% increase in public sector pay. But reports suggest that independent pay review bodies will announce higher recommendations. It's thought they'll say there needs to be around a 3% pay rise for NHS workers and around 4% for teachers in England.
I appreciate the government have tough decisions to make, but whilst there was a pay award last year that was accepted by the profession, 14 years of Conservative government saw pay freezes and pay cuts and has quite frankly brought the system to the brink of crisis.
But at a time when the economy is barely growing, there are concerns it might be too much of a strain on the public purse.
As ever, the government's got choices about if it's increasing pay. It can either spend less on other things, maybe less in the way of public services, or it will have to increase taxes to pay for them. Those are the choices that you always have. There's certainly no room to increase pay and do everything else the government wants to do.
It will undoubtedly add pressure on the government, who will have tough choices to make if they want to avoid walkouts and disruption. And that is made even more difficult by the fact that there are the unions that we've spoken to today who aren't ruling out walking out if they have to. For the government, there is tough choices to make simply because they've budgeted for a simple amount of how much they want to pay for these pay rises, and the suggestions are it's going to be higher. It means there could be cuts along the way or tax rises if they are going to meet those demands. But there's a long way to go before we know for sure exactly what's being recommended and how the government wants to react.